Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Punt Situation with Polk and Scott. How's it going, Scott?
Good, Polk, man. Just ready for some football. Today we're going to do a little mock draft before our draft. So
That's
let's
right.
get some things going over there.
We got our draft orders the other night. Scott, where do you pick? You pick 12, don't you?
No, number 12. Yeah, number 12.
Yeah, Scott picks 12. I got lucky number 7. So we're going to use a mock draft just for me and him, kind of talk about what goes through our heads while we're drafting. This is going to be a standard draft, 12 team. So, we definitely draft a little different if it was PPR or some of the other styles. So, Scott, if you want to go ahead and start this up, let's see where we're drafting.
Okay. Let's do it now.
So we're doing this on Fantasy Pros. Our first time doing this on there. But we were able to get both of us on there to be able to try to do this. So I'm not quite sure.
You got about 10 seconds for us to start the draft. So
okay, and then it shows the draft log.
Yeah,
I want to be able to explain the picks. I wish y'all could see this. So Scott, you're picking 9.
Yep.
So yeah, here we go. So Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey actually went 2. Weird. Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Najee, and Nick Chubb. So just a straight slaughter on running backs. I mean, they're all gone.
Right.
Yeah. Scott picks 9, and I'm gonna pick 10.
Next to pick. Yep. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and look over here real quick. Let's see who I'm going to get here.
So,
oh, my God, man.
Scott's got, Cooper Kupp left on the board, Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce, Jamar Chase. And then we start going down. They got them ranked in tiers.
Well, it's something I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I went ahead and picked Cooper Kupp. Might as well get him out of the way. Not a bad pick, I believe. For that late in the round, since there was a running back league, or running back run, and look at my strategies here while Polk looks, and go from there.
Yeah, so little different format than I'm used to.
Same.
Run, I don't think I've seen every running back just get wiped.
Yeah, same here.
First 9 picks.
Same here, Paul. I've done a lot of mock drafts, and it's always a wide receiver in the 4th round, or 4th pick, or somewhere around there. Maybe somebody get a quarterback, and for some reason in the 1st round. That's the first time I've done a mock draft where running backs went pretty quick.
Yeah. So, usually, you see Kupp somewhere up there, right? After the year he had last year.
Yep.
So a couple guys, so right now what I'm doing is I see Jamar Chase, I see Justin Jefferson. This is a standard league. The idea is you want to grab, for me, what I like to do is grab running backs. Receivers aren't bad, but, you've seen the run of those running backs right there. They're just going to get wiped. But I don't think there's nobody that like DeAndre Swift is probably the next best running back that they have on here that they've got ranked. Not in my opinion, but that's what they have. And so you look at it, you got Swift, you got Barkley, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, Javonte. So I feel like that's a big step down, and you never want to chase. So that's a big problem a lot of people have in these standard leagues, in these 12 people drafts, things like that. So everybody goes and picks one thing. They all sway, and everybody picks tight ends. So then they settle when they should have went with the next best player. And go ahead and don't be afraid to strengthen your team. You know what I'm saying? Everybody goes and picks tight ends. Add that 3rd star receiver to your team. So one of those guys, don't chase and get a bottom of the barrel tight end, because you're going to continue to chase. You got your tight end there, and then a new, then people start drafting receivers again, and then you're chasing on that, and try to get ahead of the curve if you can. But I'll go ahead and stop, and I'm actually going to go with Justin the Jet.
There you go.
We'll take him. Yeah. I think Justin Jefferson's really good. I think he steps up this year. The offense is going to be a little bit more pass heavy, and Thielen's getting old, so he's got to hand that crown over at some point. Huh, Scott?
Yeah, I agree. So it looks like after you, Jamar Chase is gone, Alvin Kamara's gone, Travis Kelce's gone, DeAndre Swift. Now it is back to you, Polk.
Back to me. So no running back. Well, 2 more running backs were taken. So Swift and Kamara.
Correct.
I seen Kamara and I like Kamara. I'm worried about his suspension. We won't know anything until after the ruling, which would be September 29th, I want to say.
Yep.
I just so we're looking at, we got receivers, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, all very good. But name that I got Barkley and Aaron Jones sitting right here, and I'm not a fan of Barkley, but Aaron Jones and that offense with no receivers. AJ Dillon definitely ate into his carries last year, but Jones was still productive, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Still not terrible,
Who are they going to throw to? I mean, other than Alan Lazard, I've seen Aaron Rodgers last year. Well, he dumped it off to both of those running backs. So, not a bad choice.
I'm going to pull that trigger. I'm going to go ahead and take Aaron Jones. So I got Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones. Right now, 2, I think, predominantly good players at their position.
Okay.
Go ahead. And then it's Scott's pick. So
yeah. So now I'm down to Barkley, Javonte Williams, Leonard Fournette, and James Conner. I got to get me a running back, and it's Tim Pickens right now.
We talked about chasing, and Scott's chasing.
I'm kind of chasing, but let's look at your wide receivers right now. So you said Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel, and CeeDee Lamb and Devontae. So I'm going to go wide receiver this year on this draft.
And
you're
going to do that in the real draft? If Cooper Kupp falls to you, right?
No, yeah. If Cooper Kupp falls to me, I have 2 picks in a row, right? So we had to see what's the best available player first. That's off. So if Cooper Kupp's there, why not? Because I can just go get him and then turn around and get a running back if there's still good running backs available.
Exactly, and that's what it's about. It's getting the best available player, right?
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and go wide receiver, and go with Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. Okay. See, I like that because he was drafted in the first round last year. Now you got him in. He moves teams. His opportunity.
Right. Exactly. So let's look back because it's back to me real quick. So let's look see what got picked.
Happened.
So after me with the Devontae Adams, Javonte Williams is gone. Saquon, CD, Stephon Diggs, Deebo, Zeke Elliott, which I'm kind of surprised in the second round. Tyreek Hill, Josh Allen. Huh?
Are you surprised? I want to. So team 3, that's his name.
Yeah.
I want to point something out. Look, Austin Eckler, Ezekiel Elliott, and James Conner.
Right. So, but team 1 got a quarterback second round, Josh Allen. Then turned around and got Mark Andrews. Cam Akers gone, James Conner's gone, Leonard Fournette's gone, Mike Evans is gone, Kyle Pitts is gone, A.J. Brown's gone, Antonio Gibson's gone. So I need to get a running back. And running back is Huh? What'd you say?
Pick interesting. So team one,
Yeah.
if you look at it, it's not so because he waits so long, right? He
Right.
did what we were talking and didn't
He
follow the
panicked.
hype. So he got Jonathan Taylor, and then he got Josh Allen and Mark Andrews. So he got potentially three of the best guys at the position. So that's not a terrible.
Right.
I mean, what he did isn't terrible.
No.
It's different. He definitely, got some of those guys before they should have been drafted. But I don't know. We'll see how his team ends up.
All right. So running back positions right now, I got Hall from the Jets, David Montgomery from Chicago, Eli Mitchell from San Francisco, and Travis Etienne. So I'm gonna go with Eli Mitchell on this one.
Elijah Mitchell. All right.
Elijah Mitchell, excuse me. Polk is now you're up here.
All right, interesting.
Guys cleared out.
What's left looking like T. Higgins, Pittman, Keenan Allen, Mike Wallace, DJ Moore, David Montgomery, Scary Terry, Cortland Sutton, George Kittle, Deontay Johnson, DK Metcalf. So those are just a rundown of the next couple of guys that we're looking at it just in the order of what their ADP is on this.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I've got to make a decision, right? I need to go and chase the trend, or I need to and just kind of balance out my team. But then I'm going to, because again, we're down to, I mean, if we sit here and look at it, it's starting to get where you're not drafting anymore,
Right.
ETN is there. AJ Dillon's right around there. So you got Josh Jacobs, who asked for a trade. J.K. Dobbins, who's injured. Sanders, Rashad Penny, who I don't think will make 6 games. You got Kareem Hunt, who asked for a trade. It's just Melvin Gordon splitting carries. I mean, it's just, now it can show me more, but wow. Raheem Mostert, who can't stay on the field.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, you're just flipping a coin with most of these guys. I'm not going to force it. I'm draft down. I'm gonna go with another solid guy that I think is primed to be that number one guy on his team. Got the big contract, so got to upgrade at quarterback. Even though Scott's not a fan, we're gonna go with Scary Terry.
Yeah, I have no problem with Scary Terry, honestly. So after your pick there, Keenan Allen is gone, Travis Etienne's gone, Josh Jacobs is gone, and Patrick Mahomes is gone. Now it's back to you, Polk, which is very interesting to me on the quarterback there. But
okay, yeah, that wasn't interesting. So I'm looking at David Montgomery still on the board. We got Breece Hall. Scott, you think Breece Hall is the starter?
Breece Hall is the starter right now.
Is he, huh? Yeah.
Michael Carter.
This is a toughie.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's see. I'm leaning towards, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. I know there's been talks. You know what? Hold on. Let me. I don't think I can draft anybody on the Jets.
It's kind of hard.
Of course. Huh?
Kind of hard for the Jets.
You know what? I'm gonna go crazy here. It's a mock draft. Let's have some fun. I'm gonna actually take J.K. Dobbins in hopes that either I can stash him and he just becomes one of those top players because that's what he was drafted to be last year, are that he'll be ready week 1. I'm hoping that at least by week 2, I got a solid running back. Some of the other guys are just Dave Montgomery is the guy over there, but there's talks of wanting to shift down, and he hadn't been the most explosive running back. And then Brees Hall, I worry about the Jets offense in general. And then AJ Dillon, I mean, great handcuff, but I don't want both of them.
How do you expand this more than 4 players on here?
What do you mean?
Like when all I can see is like 4 players.
You're gonna hit your suggestion, cheat sheet, queue, draft board, things like that. So when you hit that cheat sheet, then you can do it from each position. So right underneath that, you'll have all.
I got you now. All right. So.
All right, so Scott is picking. How did we? So right now, we'll just tell you. So my team right now, I got Aaron Jones and J.K. Dobbins, and Jefferson, Terry McLaurin. So I'm kind of hurting at running back a little bit. I'm hurting at running back pretty good, but I think I'm good on receivers. Those guys, I can pretty much set and walk away.
I'm gonna go out of the ordinary. I'm gonna go out of the ordinary. Like I said, we're having fun. I'm gonna go get Kittle Pot, George Kittle.
Okay, I like it. So, after I got JK, Scott's taking Kittle, and then it was T. Higgins, David Montgomery, Brees Hall, DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, Michael Pittman, Deontay Johnson. Then it swings back around. So Brandon Cooks, Herb taking in the 5th. Darren Waller, went to the 5th. Mike Williams fell all the way to the 5th. And then it looks like we got a run on quarterback. So Lamar Jackson, then Marquise Brown, then Joe Burrow, and Amari Cooper. Scott's going to pick.
Okay, I'm going to go to my over here and look.
So team taking up on running backs. I went and got Travis Kelce, Travis Etienne, and Josh Jacobs. Etienne, I'm intrigued, but he didn't play last year.
Right.
He's missed an entire year of football.
Exactly.
And then Josh Jacobs, I'm not sold on that guy ever.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not a big fan of him just because of his injuries, but he did fall all the way down. So let me see if I can get back over here real quick. I'm going to go get CEH there. It's not a bad pick where he's at right now.
No, it's not. All right. You know what? So, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I've already taken one guy that is injury prone, but this guy, hopefully, he can stay on the field for the first time in his career. He actually did pretty good the end of last season. Kind of sealed himself as the starter, then given the opportunity to start this year. Even though they drafted a rookie, he's a rookie. We're going to see if Rashad Penny can go ahead and just give me a little bit of cushion at running back, right? Because now I got J.K. Dobbins that might miss a couple games. Maybe Rashad Penny stays uninjured long enough so that J.K. Dobbins can announce his return.
Yeah, exactly. So after yours, which is pretty interesting picks here, Cortland Southern, 5th round, Allen Robinson, and then they come back around, got Gabriel Davis, and then A.J. Dillon. Now it's back to you.
Wow. A.J. Dillon. If he'd just been sitting there, I'd have had to take him, right?
Right. You would have to. There's somebody
so
over
I'm
there.
leaning. What?
Go ahead.
I'm leaning on the fact that I still feel weak at running back, right? I still feel like I got to make up for something. And I really, I think I'm setting pretty at receiver, and I'm not worried about any of the other positions right now. So we're going to go ahead and grab Kareem Hunt off the board right there.
Okay. You're not worried about trade and him not, possibly sitting out?
I think if he trades, he goes to a spot. That's what he wants, right? He wants to trade. I don't think he's going to sit out. He is a big part of that 1-2 punch. So that just kind of that gives me a little with taking J.K. Dobbins. Like I need some security blankets. And like I said, I did so well with wide receiver that I'm fine making that pick right there.
All right. Well, as like you, it's a little same situation. Both of my guys that I picked were both injured last year, so I am going to. Let me go find it real quick. I am going.
Where are you going? We'll run down Scott's team real quick. Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Elijah Mitchell, George Kittle, and C.H.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get Tony Pollard.
All right, Scott's going with Tony Pollard. He just kind of kind of like what we talked about. I think in standard, running backs are one of the strongest. Receivers are definitely strong too, but running backs just you want plenty of them. They tend to go down, and so
a
lot of picks.
Wow. So it looks like there was a quarterback run here. You got Kyler Murray, and then Rashard Bateman, Miles Sanders, who said don't pick me. Dalton Schultz, T.J. Hawkinson, tight end run too. Adam Thielen, Jared Judy, Damian Harris, and then Darnell Mooney, Ken Walker, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Devin Singletary, Aaron Rodgers, Elijah Moore, and Chris Godwin, which that's a hell of a pick at seventh round there.
Yep, especially with heard Mike Evans hurt that hamstring again, right?
Right. So that's a hell of a pick right there. All right. So here's what I'm going to do here. Look at some other stuff. All right. So I'm going to go and get D-Hops.
6-game suspension, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep. But he'll be great for flex week. So I'm not worried about that.
You're right.
So let's go ahead and get him on here.
Where's their bye?
Their
hopefully
bye
their bye is
13. Week 13.
Too bad it ain't like
that's what hurts. That's what hurts because that's close to playoffs.
They'll be missing.
Yeah.
Well.
So. Yeah. All right. So there goes DeAndre Hopkins, and Polk's on the board.
Okay. So I got two guys right now that's just I'm kind of staring down. We got missed forever. 2 years or whatever? Michael Thomas, slant boy. So he can be back and
still have.
If it's Winston loves to air it out.
Sure.
29, so he can still be effective. Mike Evans showed that. All right, I got Juju, who I think is going to be that number one over there. Can be a 1,400-yard receiver. Did it his first year. And then he got one. He upgraded at quarterback, obviously. So
right.
Just kind of those two guys. And, Amon-Ra St. Brown ain't terrible.
Yeah.
He did good towards the end, and then but they brought in so many receivers.
Yeah, huh? I know. I'm a little worried about St. Brown this year. I'm a little worried about him this year.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So It's between those three, and I'm just gonna flip an imaginary coin, and okay, it was heads, so we're gonna go with Juju.
All right.
So
All right. So let's run down real quick Polk's picks here. So Polk is Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Scary Terry, J.K. Dobbins, Rashad Penny, Kareem Hunt, and Juju. Then after Juju, Devontae Smith was picked, Tom Brady, Drake London, Cordell Patterson, and now it's Polk again.
back to me. Back to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sitting at like three. I got three. I think solid receivers, three number ones, right?
Right.
but running backs. So I'm gonna just go take the look, see what I got going on. Michael Thomas still there. You got Hunter Renfro. As Christian Kirk just went down the other day. Russell Gage, Valdez Scantling.
What?
So
Christian Kirk, the guy that they paid so much for? Wow.
that's the guy that they gave the world to. Running backs, we're looking at Ronald Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, Melvin Gordon, James Cook, I guess, who's moving up the draft board. And actually, so I'm gonna go with a guy that I think is actually a running back. Again, I guess the problem with this draft make up for what I did and get J.K. Dobbins. It worries me. So looking, this guy I think he has been a top tier back in the past. Had a terrible coach last year, got injured at the end. I think he can still come back strong this year. We're gonna go ahead and go with James Robinson.
Hey, you know what, Holt? You and I talk about James Robinson, how he was misused last year. I think he's a great running back. I still think he's going to be that number one running back over there. The injury that he had last year really kind of brought him down a little bit. But just come on, it was a horrible season last year. Offensive line looked like shit. Trevor Lawrence looked bad. I agree with you. I think he's going to have a bounce back season. I don't think it's going to be 1,000 yards, but it's going to be at least about 800 yards, with the split carries that he's having with ETN. I think he's going to give you more on yardage than touchdowns that you want, but he's going to be a hell of a guy to have for your flex week or when your running back's going on a bye. So I think that was a great pick. All right, so you went with James Robinson. How comes it still say that you are still on the clock?
It shows me Scott was on the clock.
Showing me on my side that you're still on the clock here. Hold on.
Try to make a pick.
All right, here we go. Finally synced in here.
User error. So another direction I could have went is the run on tight ends. Dallas Goedert is still sitting there, which he has proven in the past that he can do it. He is a very athletic guy, so he always has the potential. And then you got Dawson Knox, who I think his role lessens in the offense possibly this year. But he was Josh Allen, one of Josh Allen's most trusted, especially threats last year. So, and then Zach Ertz, who went to Arizona and just became their guy. Still some pretty good options, I think, at tight end. So no rush. Quarterbacks, we're looking at Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, Trey Lance, Derek Carr. So three of my favorite guys are still sitting there. Everybody else went and grabbed their quarterback already. And, I'm okay with what I'm looking at right now. Yeah. Tua is still there if he does anything. Matt Ryan way down there for still rocking and rolling. So,
Mac Jones, I think it's a solid one there. So, you got the wonderful Carson Wentz and Jared Goff down there. And then you got Deshaun Watson, just we don't know what's going on with him. Like, is it going to be 6 months? Is it going to be another year? Roger Goodell is really pushing for him to be suspended again for a whole year.
Yeah.
I think he's. I hate to say, I think he served his time, but I don't know. It I don't know. Let's just get off that subject there.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, so go ahead.
Take Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. How'd you know?
I'm psychic.
You know?
I am psychic.
No, I'm actually. Why do they keep saying you're still on the clock? I don't understand.
Just make it pick, bro. Just make it pick.
There we go. All right, I went ahead and got Russell Wilson there.
Russell Wilson, I like it.
I think he's going to have a great season this year. With Courtland Sutton there over there, Jared Judy, he's probably got running backs that's and not burn him. He's got a better offensive line this year. I went not pick. It's not bad.
Nope. So after Scott, Amon-Ra, Chase Edmonds, Brandon Ayuk. So I'm not a fan of those picks, but right on. Melvin Gordon, the third, Ramondre Stevenson, Michael Thomas actually went. Chris Olave, his rookie teammate, went right after him. Then we got James Cook, who is moving up, but definitely not a 3-down back. So kind of surprising because that's the team one, and we talked about the concerns that they may have, and they made it apparent that the rest of the team. Will give you a rundown here later. Damian Pierce, who's actually moving up the depth charts and over there in Houston. So he's trying for these rookies. And we got Kadarius Toney, Tyler Lockett, who's still a starter in the league. Just his quarterback, you hear it's probably going to be Geno. And that just don't sound too promising. You got Ronald Jones, Michael Carter, Jamal Williams, Alan Lazard, which I think is a great pick.
I think it's a great pick for number 10 for being a number one starter.
Yep.
And then you got the hurt Christian Kirk there.
And then you got Christian Kirk.
Look, but before I go into my picks and everything, Polk, are you sold with Kadarius Toney being up there?
No.
I mean, he is considered the number one wide receiver right now for the Giants. I'm not sold with him just because he had that one good game against the Cowboys. I'm not sold with him. I don't like his attitude.
Between his attitude, the injury problems that he's had.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know, man. I'm just not sold with this guy, and everybody has him high picked. I'm surprised he didn't get picked, earlier than that because everybody likes this guy really good. So,
yeah, not a fan.
Yeah. Not a fan. All right, so
dang,
going over here. What am I doing over here?
Picking quarterback
again. I'm going to pick quarterback again. I might.
You tell the people.
Thinking about it.
Okay.
Thinking about it.
All right. We'll give Scott Devontae Adams, Elijah Mitchell, George Kittle, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tony Pollard, DeAndre Hopkins, and Russell Wilson. So let's see. Let's see if we got two concurrent viewers going on right now. So guys, Cameron, question. So if some of the QBs are gone, like Patrick, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, what would be the safe QB that you would give you the fantasy points? So we kind of talked about that, Cameron. Russell Wilson for sure, right? He's got all the opportunity. He's got a better line than he's ever had. He's always been one of those top 10 guys when he's had with what little he's had in Seattle. So that's a guy I'm looking to make huge strides. And then, we talked about Matt Ryan's going to have great opportunity this year. Matt Stafford's still on the board. That's another guy that just went out and threw lights out. Yeah, he had a couple picks, but, that offense has definitely kind of adapted to being a passing offense under him. So, Scott, I'm sorry.
Right.
I ain't trying to steal your thunder.
No, you're good, man.
Derek Carr. Derek Carr he has Darren Waller now. And then we talk about how Devontae Adams has moved over there. He's arguably the best receiver in the league. So you go with the best receiver and the best tight end, and then you got one of the best slot men playing right now in Hunter Renfrow. I mean, you're looking to have a pretty scary team. So at quarterback, I mean, I think it looks good to have, Derek Carr. And like I said, Tua, you got Tua. Tua has some of the best receiving options in the NFL.
Right.
So you've got, I mean, these past picks, the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allen, they're going off of what they did last year. But it never works out the same, right? It's never the same number one running back that was drafted last year that starts this year. Jonathan Taylor was drafted, 10 in our league?
Yes, correct.
Derrick Henry was number one. It's not the same. It doesn't continue to be the same. It's not going to be the same for quarterbacks. These guys, if it was just that easy, Patrick Mahomes would win the Super Bowl every year. Right.
Right.
He doesn't.
Right.
Team change, line change, things change around him. So I think you're perfectly fine in missing on those guys and then grabbing, some of these guys are still considered tier 3, I think, and they're potential tier 1 in my heart. So I hope that answers your question, Cameron. We'll go ahead and let Scott pick. I know he's thinking hard. He's got his thinking cap on.
Man, I already got my guy. I've just been waiting on you.
Did you?
So I'm going to go get another tight end, and I'm going with Dawson Knox.
Okay. Interesting. 2 tight ends, huh? You going to flex one of those? Or?
Yes, I will. I can flex one of those.
Flex one of those until you get D-Hops.
Well, yeah, until D-Hops comes back.
Right. Right, definitely not what I would do, but it is a strategy. So,
all right. So, Polk, let's go to yours and see what you got going on here.
Okay, so I think I'm looking pretty good. I got some receivers, I got some backup running backs, I got some picks right there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and. Everybody else has done it. I think this is probably one of the better guys that could definitely jump up the board. I'm going to go ahead and go with Dallas Goedert. Get my tight end. Scott got 2. I just need 1. So got him taken care of.
Okay.
Let's look at some of these other picks that happened.
Looks like we got Robert Woods off the board there. What we got here? Treylon Burks.
Gross.
Yeah. Kenneth Gainwell and Darrell Henderson. And now it's back to you.
Okay. So the reason I say gross for Treylon Burks is apparently he's running with like the 3s and 4s, right?
Yes. Right.
Asthma was a problem. He just had a rough training camp, especially for where they drafted him.
I agree with you.
And, I talk about it, and if you can't talk about it and be about it, then I don't know what the point of it all is. Let's go ahead and seal Derek Carr up. We're going to make Derek Carr the starting quarterback. Welcome to the team, Derek Carr. I just need you to throw touchdowns to Devontae Adams. And that way, when I do play Scott, and Scott tries to play Devontae Adams against me, I'm going to get some of those points. Devontae Adams ain't getting nothing without my quarterback getting something. So,
unless your quarterback gets hurt.
Stop. He will. He does run. You got to be careful with that.
That's right. But Polk, you and I talked about it. I mean, Derek Carr has a cannon in the arm. Devontae Adams, both of them played in college together. They're going to be great. I think Derek Carr. It's either going to be Derek Carr or Matt Ryan going to be the surprise QB of the year. And just like Stafford was last year, everybody was downgrading Stafford. They said he was done. And everybody's talking kind of the same thing with Matt Ryan. He's up there in age. He's 37 years old. Look, man, Matt Ryan's been through hell in Atlanta. He's only had Julio Jones pretty much his whole life. Now he's got some great players over there, and I'm excited for Matt Ryan. It's either going to be Derek Carr or Matt Ryan going to shine this year. So,
I agree with you 100%.
So I'm going to go wide receiver. And
okay.
Look who I picked.
Julio Jones could be the starting tight end for the the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Starting
Great
tight
pick.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Julio Jones fell off way too fast, right? I mean,
Right.
3 years ago, he's getting taken in the first round. It happens
Right.
quick, but
So,
I still think
well,
he's got
everybody's
something
scared of Julio Jones because, the end of his career with Atlanta, he was hurt a lot. And then Tennessee last year, he was hurt most of the season. Look, guys, he's going to be less used. He's not going to be that first down, kind of guy like, he used to be. So I think he's going to be an Antonio Brown from last year, and also, Tom Brady doesn't have his buddy anymore, and Gronk is gone. So where do they got to go, Polk? Who they got to throw to?
right.
If Godwin and Evans is covered, who are they going to throw to?
Or if
Julio Jones
they
still
can't
has
stay on the
speed.
field.
Right.
Both of them has a history of injuries. Evans got his hamstring and Godwin a little bit of everything, hamstring and
A little bit of both. Yeah. So it's if they go down, guess who's number one again? Julio Jones. So
right.
I had to go with that pick there.
I mean, I just want to give this quick rundown, Scott. This is
go ahead.
I think this is the best value, right? This is where you decide whether you win or lose, right? Everybody knows the top players to pick. You can go Google that, and pretty much the consensus is pretty close to the same, the ADP wise of guys in the first 3 rounds, we'll say. I think this is where you're going to hit those home runs. This is where you get the guys that are going to step up and be. I mean, this is about where Cooper Kupp was being drafted last year, right? But some of these values that I see in this round is just great. So Hunter Renfrow went after Julio Jones. Julio Jones in itself is value. Hunter Renfrow, just one of he's going to be that go down. He's going to be the Julian Edelman. He's going to be the little guy running those short routes that Derek Carr is going to be able to hit all day. You got Russell Gage, which I think would have been a great pick if Julio Jones didn't go to Tampa Bay. Chase Claypool, who could arguably be the number 1 for that team, right? Tyler Boyd, who's the number 2, 3 for Cincinnati with
I think that's a
quarterback.
great pick in that area. Yeah, that's a really good pick.
Agreed. Michael Gallup, who could come out and help CD lead that team and help lead that wide receiver core. Rondale Moore, who was phenomenal in stretches last year, who they just want to use just fast, right? They got a lot of receivers over there. They brought in some guys. Rondale Moore he's fast. He's like a gadget player. And I think that if they get him the ball, he's going to be able to do something with it. So Marlon Mack, who says he feels, better than he ever has. The guy I thought was a great running back, just injuries limited him from being a starter for a team.
He's the number 2 right now in Houston. I think he's going to be that number 1 pretty much, when the season.
Pretty quickly, right?
Yeah. So.
Exactly. You got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who could go to Kansas City and dethrone, or take Juju's spot. A fast, big guy, So, there's potential. That's at least the number 2, right? If he's not the number 1 receiver, he's the number 2. And then Alexander Madison, and so the other players, Rashad White, who could be good, and Naeem Hines. And Kenny Galladay, and J.D. McKissick. So,
Grace.
Anyway, and McKissick ain't terrible.
McKissick's not, but Kenny.
Yeah, if something happens to Gibson, it's McKissick all day.
Right.
So, plus, they like to use him in the third down.
Man.
But yeah, Kenny Galladay.
So here, I'm going to do something here. Just because I saw him at the, Hall of Fame game.
Are you taking
I'm taking Zamir White.
Okay.
I'm taking Zamir White.
Okay.
I think Zamir White, man, he's from Georgia, man. He had 11 TDs, both, the 20 and 21 season. He's 6'1", 225. I mean, this guy is a threat to Josh Jacobs right now. And, Daniel said that they're not going to trade him, but this guy, I believe he's going to be the future of the Raiders, and this guy looks amazing. If you watch his clips in Georgia, yeah, you need to. He helped them win that game over their national championship. So, Polk, you're
up to bat.
Yes, sir.
All right. So right now, give you a quick rundown of my team. So I've got Derek Carr, Eric Jones. It's got J.K. Dobbins in that spot, but he's not going to be the starter. It's going to be Rashad Penny, right? Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, Dallas Goedert, Juju Smith, Penny, Hunt, and then James Robinson. So what I think I need is going to be a wide receiver. And we're looking at a couple guys. So, I mean, right off the bat, they've got Devontae Parker, Sky Moore, and Jarvis Landry. Those are, we're going to skip Jacoby Myers, but those are guys that kind of – and DJ Shark, but – he went over there to Detroit. I don't like his quarterback, and I don't know why he wasn't successful last year. He did pretty good his first year over there in the Jags, but definitely him and Lawrence didn't connect. Robbie Anderson, who I won't touch. I didn't like him last year. I don't like him this year. Corey Davis, Jets receiver, we're going to avoid. So Curtis Samuel, if he could stay on the field, he might be a good one. George Pickens might be an interesting choice later on. But, we're here to have fun, and I'm going to take a hopeful. I'm going to take a leap. You talked earlier. I think he's going to be one of the most consistent guys like he was last year. Still young, got a lot to prove. Have some big shoes to fill. But we're going to go with Devontae Parker. Can be the guy. Has shown in stretches that he is an amazing athlete. Just needs to stay on the field. Maybe he'll do it in this offense, right?
Right. So let's go back here. Polk, look at your text message. So Polk picked Devontae Parker. Sky Moore was picked next. That's rough. Sony Michel, Jarvis Landry, which I'm not opposed to that being this late in the round. He is the number 2 wide receiver over there. And then you got Irv Smith from Minnesota, who had started off great and then got hurt. So, and then it's back to Polk again.
We got me again.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, yeah, we're just gonna keep beating the dead horse, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and take another running back. I just, that's my favorite thing to draft. You can never have too many. I'm gonna go with Tyler Algier. I think Cordell Patterson had a fluky year last year. I'm sorry if it takes you 15 years in the league. Glad you finally accomplished something. But you're what, 31, 32, 33, something like that, man. Go ahead and sit down because that's when running backs do that. They're going to limit your snaps this year because of your age. So I think Tyler Algier has something to prove. He's a young, solid back. I think he's going to start eating those carries quick, fast, and in a hurry. That's what I'm banking on anyway.
Right. Ooh, man. So I'm up to bat here. Let's see here.
Yep. Step in the batter's box.
Okay.
Go ahead, swing for the fences. But no, Scott, everything looks good on our end.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that shirt. I just noticed that shirt, by the way.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah.
And
that's what happens.
Another one.
That's what happens when you lose almost 70 pounds. You can start wearing your old shirts again. So it's kind of nice.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
A couple guys. Khalil Herbert was one of those running backs on there. He's going to be eating into Montgomery's carries. If I would have drafted Montgomery, because I've got so many backs, things like that, he would have been a guy that I would have probably picked up just in case something happened, like a little bit of insurance. I'm not a huge fan of taking the handcuffs, but injuries happen, so it wouldn't be a bad option. But it's just hard to predict who's going to step up on that depth chart.
Sure, absolutely.
We got about 4 rounds left. Irv Smith went. Did you talk about that?
Yeah.
That's his tight end. So Jamar Chase,
All right.
this team 11.
So you're gonna laugh at me, but I'm gonna get my backup QB, and I'm going with Matthew Stafford.
Huh. Well, I think it's a thing. Of course, while I'm talking, okay, they do have a quarterback. I'm not so. I don't mind getting a quarterback if you're getting a running quarterback. So if you go get Trey Lance, or if you go get Lamar Jackson, if you go get a guy that's going to run it, definitely for sure get you a backup. When I used to get Lamar Jackson those 2 years, came in second 1 year and then won it the next. I went and got Kirk Cousins. I just got a reliable quarterback, just in case something happens. Because you don't want to go get Kyler Murray and then something happened and you have, the same thing and right, and they both go down because they like to run and
Well,
so,
I mean, Russ likes to run a little bit, so and that's kind of his injury there. But let's go run down real quick. Who else they picked? Man, Zach Ertz went this late in the round, I think that's a wonderful pick. And this guy just now got his first tight end, so I'm pretty impressed with that one. Cole Kmet, yeah. I mean, with Zach Ertz being that late in the round and D-Hop's being suspended for 6 games, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
Right. Agreed.
Cole Kmet, Trey Lance, Jacoby Myers, Kirk Cousins, Darrell Williams, Pat Fremuth. Is that how you say it?
Fremuth.
I actually really like that guy. He's pretty good. Paris Campbell going pretty late. That's pretty good. And then we're going with Khalil Hebert, Mark Ingram, Raheem Mostert, Kenyon Drake, Devontae Foreman, Brian Robinson, Robert Tonyan, and Hunter Henry. Ooh, man. All right. So it's about that time. And let's do this here. I'm going to go
with another quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going to go to another quarterback. Go pick up Buffalo's defense there.
Interesting pick. First defense off the board. Is that what happened?
That's the first defense off the board.
Scott takes the first defense round 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Not hating. Don't hate.
Well, I mean, they got Cleo Mack now. I mean, it's just strengthens their defense up. So, no, not Cleo Mack. I'm sorry. Had him on my head.
Buffalo, James Cook?
Von Miller.
Von Miller, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Very good.
I mean, Von Miller last year did what? He had over 33 tackles, 9.5 sacks. I mean, yeah, he's getting up in age, but he still can play. So,
right. So, what I'm doing is I'm just looking. Now I'm just looking for potential. Right. I'm looking for guys that have the potential to step up to be a number one. And so I'm looking at wide receivers. I got DJ. Robbie Anderson's not an option. Corey Davis, I just really don't like that. Miko Hardman, I don't think he's going to be the guy. They've been trying to make him the guy forever, and it hadn't happened. Got speed, and they like to use him into gadget plays and stuff like that. But I don't know if he can't run a route or he drops some balls. So you got Nico Collins who stepped up. KJ Osborne, who's actually an interesting pick, and definitely he would be good insurance in case, God forbid, something happened to JJ. So that's one I might keep in the
Or
back of my head. And then Marvin Jones, but man, so just looking at that list right there, yeah, or Thielen, but I couldn't start both wide receivers, right? I mean,
right.
I'd have to sell that to the Thielen. We're gonna go with DJ Shark.
Okay.
Was a number one for a team. Comes over here. They had the injury to the other guy. Comes over here as a potential number one for this team. So definitely has the speed, the athleticism. So we'll take a risk and hopefully it pays off.
Yeah. And then after that, Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is gone. Justin Fields. Is this guy's first quarter? Oh, okay, he got Tom Brady. Justin Fields and Chargers and Boston Scott. Ooh, like the number 4 running back over there. All right, and then it's back to you, Polk.
I got 2 picks left, and there's only 2 things I can really go for that I don't have on my team. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk kickers and defense. So me and Scott hadn't had that conversation. We plan on doing that here soon. Soon. Yeah. Everything's about to kick off, so but we're going to go ahead.
And guys, I know everybody's like, man, do we really have to talk about defensive kickers? We mentioned it several times. Defense, they can definitely win you your games. I mean, trust me, I think my son, 3 years ago, Polk, had New England Patriots and CMC, and that's pretty much all he had and won. Like won his game because their defense went off. Kickers, I mean, everybody's like, kickers are not that important. Yeah, kickers are important because, man, if you're down by 1 point and the guy kicks a field goal to win the game, guess what? You win. But also if you're ahead and he misses, you can lose the game. That's what makes fun.
I'm in a predicament, so I don't want to touch defense. Okay. Defenses are to me, it's crazy because people pick them every year, right? Early.
Right.
Early, super early. But yeah, we see them in like the 5th, 6th round, and that blows my mind because I have had the top 5 defense the past 4 years, and I get them from a top 5 defense from the waiver wire every year. It's never the defense. I got drafted the Browns last year, ended up with the Dolphins.
Right.
It never works out. And the Browns weren't bad, just Dolphins with their takeaways were phenomenal. Anyway, so I'm in a predicament. I got my favorite, Evan McPherson, sitting here. The boy likes to sit there and watch halftime shows and boot 60-yard field goals, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just come in and win jobs. Or I got the highest paid kicker in the league, Justin Tucker, sitting there.
I knew you're gonna go there, you little fucker. You knew what I was doing.
I knew where you were going.
About to do next. All right. What you got going on?
All right. Out of those 2, we're gonna go back to flipping that imaginary coin.
Mm-hmm.
It's heads, Evan McPherson.
I'll
let you have Tucker.
All right, so I'm a big fan. Tucker. I got Tucker, so let's break it down, Polk. What do we got here? After me picking there.
All right, so let's give them the rundown. Evan McPherson, Justin Tucker. Then we got the Patriots defense, 49ers defense, which is crazy because 49ers were ranked 3. So Patriots were picked before them. They're just one of the most consistent defenses. If you're going to pick a defense, I suggest them because Bill Belichick can run a team. Daniel Carlson, Indianapolis Colts, Los Angeles Rams, Dallas Cowboys, interesting, Denver Broncos, and the Saints. So there we go. Tyler Bass, kickers. It's kickers. Young Hoku, Harrison Butker, Matt Gay, Ryan Suckup. We got the Dolphins defense, but they did lose some pieces from last year. Greg Zuerlein and Jason Sanders. So it's down to Scott. So we actually we started that trend, huh?
Yes, we did. Hey, Jason Sanders not a not a bad kicker, man.
No, he's not.
Especially him
Got a
going to
leg.
Miami. Yeah, so that's a great pick.
Yep.
All right, so my last pick here. What do we got here? What do we have left? Let's look.
I think you need another defense, right?
No, of course I do. All right. Well, maybe I need another quarterback. Who knows?
Third time's a charm, right?
Right. All right. Gross. Man, it's a lot of gross ones here. I'm gonna go with KJ Osborne for wide receiver.
Okay. All right, and then I don't know. I'm gonna pick a defense, and I'm gonna Pittsburgh or Cleveland. We got anybody still in the chat? Got a couple of viewers. You have a preference? Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. We'll go with Sackmasters, Cleveland Browns. We'll go ahead and take them and pick someone else up as soon as we get the opportunity. So
awesome.
Oh, and it graded me. Said I got a B minus. I don't know what it's grading me on.
I didn't see your grade on mine.
After I made that last pick, it graded. It says 80 out of 100, consensus of 125 experts. Well, I'm the only expert that matters, and I'd give myself a solid B plus for the fact of the depth that I was able to grab. I do have, I mean, it's next man up in football, and it's next man up in my fantasy league. Derek Carr, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, Dallas Goedert, Juju Smith-Schuster, Cleveland Browns, Evan McPherson. On my bench, I got Rashad Penny, Kareem Hunt, James Robinson, Devontae Parker, DJ Shark, and Tyler Algier. Yeah, I mean, interesting. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Scott, you got your. Hold on, I can pull it. All right, there we go. Yeah, Scott, he's rocking Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Elijah Mitchell, George Kittle, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tony Pollard, DeAndre Hopkins, Russell Wilson, Dawson Knox, Julio Jones, Zamir White, Matt Stafford, Buffalo Bills, Justin Tucker, KJ Osborne. I really like. So I like your receivers. I think you're solid. I actually like your receiving core better than mine. But you did pick before me. I got maybe the poor man's version of those, right? But I think you're hurting at running back, and
absolutely.
The only reason I'm not in the same position as you is because I just stocked up on a million backups and injured guys. And Aaron Jones, I think Elijah Mitchell could be good, right? Just a lot of injuries last year, a lot of great usage though. George Kittle, who's just a monster. I think you got me on that. I got Goddard, who definitely has potential, but it's Kittle, right? I mean, if he can stay on the field, the dude's getting it.
That's another reason why I got a backup tight end is because of his injury. So I know Dawson Knox was out for a few games, but I mean, that was kind of a fluke.
Right. And I mean, it's not terrible because look, we talk about it. Heaven forbid something happened to Derek Carr, right? I'm kind of a creek, especially in a league like this where everybody went and got two quarterbacks. So I don't know if I can look at what's left, right? Let's see the cheat sheet.
Tua was left. Tua was left. I remember seeing that.
Okay. Well, then, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Jameis Winston, Matt Ryan. So it's not as bad as it can be. It definitely, as soon as some of these guys, I'm saying by week 3 or 4, they're probably going to drop, especially if Tua starts rocking and rolling or any of these guys do anything decent. Matt Ryan, people are going to drop their backups and go grab these guys, and then you're going to be left with their shitty drafted backup drops. So try not to be that guy. It's nice to have two. I've never been a fan of stashing another quarterback, but I've been pretty fairly lucky.
You have been, honestly.
Yeah, so I never really have to go scrounge. And if so, that's the reason I draft. Hopefully some of those running backs work out for me, James Robinson or Rashad Penny stays a starter, or I have J.K. Dobbins just breaks out and just kills it. Then I have some guys that I can kind of possibly unload to fill a need. And if it's quarterback, because of injury, then it's quarterback. So
Right.
That's just kind of how, but not terrible.
I've always been the big fan of getting a backup quarterback for one reason, and as Polk said that, if the quarterback that you get is a great quarterback, but he's injured a lot, you want to get a backup quarterback. Or if he's a running quarterback, there's that possibility that, he can get hurt and you're screwed because, you go to waiver wire and there's, one shitty quarterback there that probably doesn't do good. And then you got the rest of your backup quarterbacks. So,
right.
So it's fun doing those mock drafts. A lot of people don't like doing mock drafts. I don't understand why. I think it helps you out better when you do your actual draft, and
especially if you know where you're drafting. So that's one thing we've done the last 2
right.
years is giving our draft order about 2 weeks before.
Right.
So you can do the mock drafts. You can see who's falling, right? So you don't get out up there and you're not. So it doesn't necessarily. Me and Scott don't have this problem. A couple other people in our league don't have this problem. But newer people to the league, people that are wanting to get into the fantasy world, it can be rough when they go up there and they've never done a live draft and people are just flying off the boards. They don't have a consistent list that's marking out names and things like this. They kind of get flustered. It's just nice, especially if you're a newer type person, do these mock drafts, see where people are going, because that way you know what to kind of expect, right? If you're pick 10, you know that you're not getting JT and you're not getting the first, like we had a run on running backs. If you're sitting there thinking that, oh, yeah, I'm going to get CMC, I'm going to get, they're going to fall to me. No one likes them. They're injury prone. Well, when it comes down to drafting, it's a whole different thing. People are going to say, no, I'm not touching CMC. I'm never drafting him. Watch CMC go in the first 2 rounds of every draft, period. Okay?
Right.
That's it. I mean, Dalvin Cook, Henry, every one of these guys have been injured. Watch them still get drafted in the top rounds, So, Najee Harris, I think, is hurt right now. Someone stepped on his foot or whatever. Watch him get drafted. Okay. We talked about it. Godwin, one of the best receivers, hurt. Mike Evans, one of the best receivers, hurt. Watch him get. Right. So don't let injuries sit there and play a factor, and don't let these people tell you, oh, he's going to fall. No one's drafted Christian McCaffrey. I wouldn't touch Christian McCaffrey with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, watch you draft him. Okay, because you're going to be the guy that does.
If he falls in your lap and all the running backs are gone, you're going to get him. I don't care what you say. If you go and get you a backup running back and you miss Christian McCaffrey, you don't need to be playing football. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, yes, he's a risk factor because he's been hurt, but man, when he's healthy,
the potential. Right?
I mean, right. So. Not only he's just a running back, he's a pass down catcher too. I mean, he's done it for years. It's okay. Don't be too scared of getting running backs.
He's been
He's injured. Don't worry about it. It's part of football. It's going to happen. Everybody's saying, Saquon's hurt. Look, man, if he's the best available player and you're looking down and you're like, man, I really don't have any other options, you go get Saquon because you don't know he can have a breakout year. You just don't know.
I mean, Scott, looking at this, the first the pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 running backs first round have all been injured. Substantial time. Right. Christian McCaffrey missed most of a season. Austin Eckler, most of a season. Derrick Henry, a good, 6-7 games last year. Dalvin Cook, a season.
Right.
Joe Mixon has 16 games missed in three years, something like that.
Right.
So, the only guys that hadn't had substantial time are the young guys. But give it time.
It's going to happen.
So, right.
All right, man. Well, that concludes our mock draft here.
Our rant.
Yeah, our rant. Absolutely. So, Polk, we're going to Guys, I'm going to try to come back pretty soon. I have surgery coming on Thursday, next surgery. I'm hoping like next week before our draft that Polk and I can come on here and talk. I want to get much rest as possible for our draft. Uh, but if I don't make it, either Sap or Cameron or somebody or Polk will come in live. But I just want to real quick. I want to say thank you to my family who's supporting me, being there for me, my friends. Thank you for being there for me, and uh, I really appreciate that. So this is not a major surgery, but it is is a big deal for me. So Polk, I want to say thank you. You've always been a good friend, and I appreciate always being there for me, man. You always got
Oh
me
yeah.
going when I'm down. So and he knows when I'm down. We talk about football and it perks me up, and we're good to go. So I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Hey man, your family. I love you, brother.
Love you too, man. All right, guys. This concludes Punt Situation for tonight. Polk, you got the last word.
All right, guys. Hey, it's been another great episode of Punt Situation. Remember, we're on YouTube Live now. You can catch us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're going to try to do those at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can always find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all of them pretty much, right?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah,
So
Spotify,
we're
all
on
those guys.
Twitter. We're on Facebook. Go ahead. If all you got's email, hit me an email. It's Polk, ITSPOLK at yahoo.com. Same thing with Scott. I think it's Mr. Doyle.
Mr.
Scott,
Doyle 32 at gmail.com.
That's right. Mr. Doyle 32 at gmail.com. So if you have any questions, give us a shout. Hey, we're here for you, right? So we got our draft coming up in a couple weeks, but we're ready to get you ready for yours. So if you have any questions,
Absolutely, guys.
any comments, any concerns, holler at us. Go
And
ahead, Scott.
don't forget, when the football season starts, we are going to probably change up a little bit on our days so we can give you the closest injury reports, who to play. We're probably going to, Tuesdays after Monday Night Football, and then possibly Wednesday. I'm not sure yet, but we definitely want to do Sunday before the games start and give you some injury updates and again who to start on your lineup as well.
That's what I'm thinking. Sunday morning we'll come. Football Sundays, we'll come live probably about 10 or so, and give you a rundown of who to start. Kind of maybe give you a rundown on DFS and just what we're expecting in the games, and hopefully if you have lineup questions, give us a shout and we can help you. Listen, I get it. Me and Scott win a lot. We're used to winning. These decisions for the lineups come a little bit easier for us. So if you have any doubt, any questions, let us know. Let us help you out.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great night, and we will see you next week, hopefully.